And welcome to another evening of frank conversation here on Hard Copy, coming to you from our studios in Abuja. I'm Maope Ogun Yusuf. The political season is now in full swing, and here on Hard Copy, we've caught the fever. Tonight on the program, as more political actors show interest in running for the #1 job and other jobs, we sit with one of them who's shown interest in running the affairs of the country. Senator Anyim Pius Anyim is no stranger to Nigeria's convoluted and complex politics, having served as Senate President from the year 2000 to 2003. He also served as Secretary to the Government of the Federation under the administration of President Goodluck Jonathan. He's shown interest in being Nigeria's president. But what precisely will he bring to the table, given that many already consider him an establishment man? Senator Anyim Pius Anyim, welcome to Hard Copy.
Thank you.
Well, you showed interest in this job even before the sale of forms were available for your party. And I think in some of the conversations that you've had with people, one of the things you've said is that you are a breath of fresh air. But some people will ask, what exactly is fresh about the breath you bring, considering the fact that you've been around PDP politics for quite a while?
Well, I am not sure that breath of fresh air is my word. But if somebody says so, I think that might be right too. I think we need to bring a fresh touch of principled democracy. We need to bring out the beauty of democracy. We need to bring out the meaning of democracy. We need to run a government that is people-centered. We need to run a government of rules and order. We need to run a government of strengthening the institution and not allowing strong men to emerge. So I think a whole lot of new things we are going to bring to the table. You know, we bring out the beauty of democracy, and our commitment is that if we bring out the beauty of democracy in our land, such issues as ethnicity, religious, mutual distrust, nepotism, clannishness, they will simply disappear. People will be weighed on what they can offer. It's
interesting that that's the theory, I mean, or that is the thrust of your own campaign, bringing out the beauty of democracy. From where we currently stand and some of the issues that we currently see disturbing the land, from insecurity to economic issues, the beauty of democracy cannot be the problem, or shall I say the solution. Is it a lack of democracy that has caused these challenges that we currently have?
Certainly. And, you know, at times most people will think, I will solve security problem by recruiting more soldiers, by buying more equipment. That's not where the solution lies. And you remember I did an open letter to the president sometime. And in that open letter about insecurity, and I was clear, I said, arms alone cannot resolve this. You need to give people comfort and confidence in a system for them to stand to protect it. And that's what democracy stands for.
Give us an instance. I mean, let us be more practical here. We have bandits disturbing us. Now we've named them terrorists in the northwest of the country. The latest security issues that we've seen from the, I mean, of course, we also have issues in the southeast where you're from. But let's even take a look at the issue of terrorism as typified in the northwestern part of the country. How do you think that democracy, as you talk about it, will be the solution to that problem?
Well, let me also say that when you talk about these bandits, you find out that most of them are jobless youths. One way or the other, some are educated and have no job, some are not educated and did not have opportunity of having education. But when we talk about these bandits and this terrorism and all that, let's go back and look at what the experiences had been. I was in government since 1999. And I can tell you, check. When we were running election in 1999, that was the time we had zero level of criminality. Everybody worked hard, jumped in, participated in the process, expecting so much from democracy. I campaigned under that during that season. I have traveled, I've left my village one time at 7 p.m. to return to Abuja at 3 p.m. I had no fear of anything happening to me on the way, and nothing happened to me. Everybody was expectantly waiting for the dividends of democracy. After that election, just about 6 months, 1 year, then criminality started to rear up. And the armed type of it was forced the militancy in the Niger Delta. And it got to such a serious and alarming proportion that even the economy of the country was threatened. I was in government then, and I know what President Obasanjo did. He started negotiating with them, started talking with them, with their leaders. Eventually, Yar'Adua took over and perfected the whole arrangement with the amnesty program. Now, most of those people are either gainfully employed or professionals in their own right, or even politicians in their own right. Until today, even other subsequent efforts to recreate militancy in the Niger Delta never worked because it was properly addressed. If you put in any policy that is not acceptable by all segments of the polity, it will not work.
But you think that that's certainly something that must be done? Reworking the foundations.
Oh yeah, we have to make sure because that is how we can generate patriotism. That is how we can eliminate mistrust. Well,
you are no stranger to disagitations. Having served under the administration of President Goodluck Jonathan, he set up a national conference to iron out some of these issues, and there was a report. Sadly, it was towards the end of his administration, and perhaps very little time to carry it out. But it would seem that there wasn't a lot of commitment or maybe a lot of trust even when that particular conference was set up. Did you really see it as something that was a solution to the problem, or was it just so that people could calm down with the agitations, which seemed to have reached a crescendo at that point?
Well, I am not sure that I agree with any of the two propositions you have made. But importantly, you need to get people over a table to discuss their issues, their complaints, their feelings, and whatever. So the National Conference provided that platform.
Considering the fact that you have held this philosophy on having more democracy for quite a while, I'm wondering whether you were able to bring it to bear as in your time as SGF, perhaps in some advisory roles to the president, because the Boko Haram problem was truly, and is still truly a very big problem.
But the truth of the matter is that President Goodluck's administration inherited Boko Haram. They didn't start under the regime of Goodluck. And they managed it to a point that we could say that at the time of its exit, that they were bringing it under control. But unfortunately, and I have insisted, that government is a continuum. Unfortunately, when the new government came, when the PC government came, everything put in place by Goodluck administration was wiped away.
Was it viewed as just an agitation? I'm trying to understand the lens through which the problem of Boko Haram was viewed. I mean, when you talked about more democracy, you gave the example of the Niger Delta and how that was resolved. Was this viewed as just another agitation for more participation in governance, or was this viewed as part of a wider or global radical ideology that was pervading, let's say, the world at the time, and was beginning to gain a very dangerous foothold in Nigeria?
No, I think it's the escalation of the thing that actually brought the international dimension to it, and it's gotten to a dimension that actually is becoming a real challenge. But the truth of the matter is that as at the time it started, it was a matter of religious right. It's really not an agitation to create a new state. But as it escalated, as it was mismanaged at that beginning, now they graduated to asking for an Islamic state. So, and it's become a new dimension to it. And then, of course, given the situation in the world, they had an international interface with some of those other groups, and it's getting quite a challenge.
You know why I'm asking these questions? Because people will say that you have also been, I mean, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation is not any kind of position. It's a pretty influential position.
No doubt.
Indeed. And that, you know, if some of the solutions which you say you're bringing on board right now did not yield fruit, or I don't know if you brought them on board then, did not yield as much fruit as it ought to have yielded.
I don't know where you are coming from. Why I'm saying so is that as at today in Nigeria, you don't compare Goodluck's administration with what we have today. And you cannot cut what is presently on the stage and paste on Goodluck's administration.
No, but you have
Nigerians long for a return of the era of Goodluck.
You talked about how the security challenges that we've had.
It was largely under control.
Is a continuum.
Yes, but not that insecurity should continue.
It's something, yes, it's something that largely, you know, is something that has, you know, we don't seem to have been able to eradicate.
You didn't get the continuum I'm talking about.
Let me finish.
I'm saying, well, no, let me finish. The continuum I'm talking about is that if a government should change and have changed, you will have to review the policies on ground and in the national interest, decide on what to do with those policies. So you don't just scrap away policies because it belongs to the other administration, no. And that's the point I'm saying. I'm saying that if this administration had built from what the Goodluck administration had on ground, maybe we wouldn't have gotten to where we are
What
today.
policies were on ground at that time to actually tame the Boko Haram crisis? Because we know that it got to a head.
It's a security matter, and maybe it's not for me to discuss with you here. It's a security matter, but it was almost near control. And you should know it.
No, I'm asking this. There are so many things that we knew about the Goodluck Jonathan administration in terms of some of the things that were brought on board to combat, you know, Boko Haram. Some of it is also being asked for right now. The governor of Borno State has been talking about how mercenaries should come back. We know that mercenaries were brought in during the time of President Goodluck Jonathan, especially just before the elections, to try and tame.
Okay, can you leave the details of security matters or how security were there, because I am not one. Maybe when you have an SA before you, you can ask him for these details. Okay,
let me take another issue. The issue of agitations in the southeast. That has also been there even since the time of President Olusegun Obasanjo. We saw it calm down. It seems to have an undulating pattern, and it's usually championed by different groups. During the time of President Obasanjo, I think it was championed by Mr. Ralph Owazurike, or Masob, and now we have a new group, IPOB. But these are agitations that have been there, you know, managed differently in times past. Now that we currently have IPOB, what exactly will you be bringing on board to try and, you know, solve the agitations raised by IPOB? Because they are asking for a separate state.
Well, if you ask me, and I can say this because I have consulted with many leaders, younger ones, and the crop of Southeast citizens. The greatest need of the Southeast today is to see themselves properly reintegrated into Nigeria. And if that is done, that takes out whatever agitation you're seeing, is to have a feel that we are truly Nigerians. Have a feel that we are not limited because we come from Southeast. To have a feel that whatever position any Nigerian can aspire to in this country, that somebody from Southeast should be at liberty to aspire to that.
Do you feel limited?
This proper reintegration is actually the major need of the Southeast.
Do you feel limited?
Well, I am aspiring because I feel, even if you have limitations on me, which so many other things are trying to play out, that I don't accept such limitation. I don't accept it. I'm a Nigerian and I'm a Nigerian. And all I have become is because I'm a Nigerian. And if you plan to limit me by whatever reason, I will refuse to accept it. And that's what I'm doing.
I'm asking this because you have held the position of Senate President. That is, you know, a pretty high up position.
It's not a matter of height. I am not talking about a matter of this one or that one. You should be at liberty as a citizen to aspire to any position and to be there.
Did you feel limited in those times?
But that's what I'm telling you, that I am aspiring to one that I feel situations are trying to limit me, and I'm saying no because I'm a Nigerian.
Okay.
I shouldn't be limited to aspire to the #1 position in Nigeria.